In 1914, John D. Rockefeller sent his private army to raid a camp of striking miners at his coal facility in Colorado. This became known as the Ludlow Massacre. Rockefeller owned the Colorado Fuel and Iron Company, and after being evicted from the company housing, 1,200 of his employees lived in a tent colony with their families. The battle lasted a day with machine gun fire, and eventually the militia set fire to the tents. Photos and eyewitness accounts show the destroyed tent colony, dead women and children, and Rockefeller's militias riding on horseback into town, unfazed by the human cost of this industrial conflict. To clean up this PR disaster, Rockefeller hired Ivy Lee. In 1914, the United States was run by robber barons. Rockefeller, Carnegie, Morgan, and Vanderbilt built dynasties on government contracts, securing monopolies on oil, rail, steel, and coal. These guys crushed unions, fixed markets, bought judges, and treated public life as an obstacle to be managed. Workers were pushing back. Muckrakers were publishing exposés. Congress was starting to talk about antitrust. And the robber barons knew they needed more than lawyers. They needed somebody to soften their image. And that is where Ivy Ledbetter Lee walks in. He had trained as a journalist, but chose to work as a propagandist for robber baron money. And his biggest client was J.D. Rockefeller. He worked for Standard Oil for most of his career. And he organized bulletins, including the facts concerning the struggle in Colorado for industrial freedom. The struggle for freedom. Come on. He deliberately tried to portray women and children living in tents that were massacred and burned as outside agitators. He insisted that Rockefeller's wages were fair and that this massacre was just an unfortunate disaster. The aim was to turn the massacre into a misunderstanding. Lee stayed on Rockefeller's payroll for years, defending their refineries and pollution and smoothing relations with regulators. He advised the first American Petroleum Institute, giving these oil barons a unified public voice. By the late 1920s, he also took contracts from IG Farben. They were a German chemical company with close ties to Standard Oil. As Hitler rose to power, Farben paid Lee $25,000 a year, huge money at the time, to advise the Nazis on their press relations. Archives show he met with Hitler and Joseph Goebbels, teaching them how to manage foreign press coverage. Lee created a template. Get your version out first, make it sound official, and target the people who have the leverage to shape public opinion. His techniques didn't die when he did. They hardened into what we know today. They became the foundation of how powerful interests shape public opinion. The idea that you can manufacture consent for something by framing stories first, targeting opinion leaders, and making propaganda sound like objective information. That is still how this works. And when you hear arguments about climate science being unsettled, or that regulation will destroy jobs, or that people protesting for fairer rights are simply outside agitators, those are the direct descendants of Lee's propaganda. Most people think that their opinions come from their own experiences and observations. What they don't see is how much of the information they receive was shaped in corporate boardrooms, using these same techniques perfected over a century ago. Understanding this history helps you see how the frame gets built and who benefits from that frame. This week on the channel and in Discord, I am doing a US media literacy deep dive. As I write, produce, and film the videos in this series, I am info dumping into a dedicated US media literacy training channel. This makes the learning experience more immersive. You have to flip over cards, respond to polls, look at images, share your own feedback, thoughts, or steers for the series as we produce in real time, and get access to all my sources. This is the link to apply. The Forever Workbook is my home base and it complements these videos. I hang out there in real time when I'm writing and I share things I think are cool. The media literacy course is free, but if you like my work and you want more, once you're inside the Discord, you can subscribe. It's $3 a month, and that gives you full Discord access. For $3 a month, you get access to all of my info dumps, lots of interactive learning, plain terms explanations, and real history. You also get access to all of my reading lists and my newspaper, The Wire, where I give intelligence briefings for markets once a week, so you can see what the news isn't covering. This small fee also helps me run the community. Subscriptions to the newspaper in Discord fund my CIC, my community interest company. The goal is that with enough subscribers, I can fund community projects. But you don't have to pay for media literacy. It's free in the Discord. You also don't have to take the media literacy class to just come hang out in the Discord, although it's advisable. We like people who are socially aware.